Hey everyone, I sat down with Lunatica to talk about the way that he does brainstorms, which are the sessions in which he comes up with his main ideas for his tracks. So this is just a little session that we recorded, so I hope that you enjoy and that you learn something. Don't forget to check out the sale that I'm currently running on all of my products, like preset packs, sample packs, sound designer tools, and my masterclass. Links to all three of the shops are going to be in the description. So you wanted to show us a little bit of sound design and all of that kind of stuff? And how you maybe come up with some different ideas for when you're
I
starting off a
wanted to
project or
make,
something like that.
I wanted to make a brainstorm, just flow with some leads, some elements,
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I could do it every day. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the fun part. But is that usually the part that you do at the beginning of a track, or?
Well, once I have the groove,
Mm-hmm.
well, this is a collaboration, but anyway, imagine I have the groove, then I jump to the brainstorm and I make a brainstorm,
Yeah,
a brainstorm of elements. Once I'm happy with the element selection I achieved, then I go arrangement.
yeah. So it is like the second step for you in like a very step-by-step process,
Well,
I
yeah,
would say then.
if you mean the first step would be having the groove, the full groove, kick and bass and drums and everything,
Yeah.
then yes, it's the second step, let's say, yeah. Look, I have this track, I was just flowing, and I thought maybe I select one collaboration I have. I have many right now opened, and I have to finish different ones. This collaboration is with Middle Mode. They started the track, they sent me, and now I have to work on. The work
Mm-hmm.
they have done is all this up to here, okay, all that. And now I'm just starting to make a brainstorm. Actually, I made a brainstorm here, all that. And yeah, just I will delete this and I will make new brainstorm here. So
Nice.
look, I'll bring a MIDI channel and I will bring, I don't know, maybe I will use Serum. I will take some of the latest thing I have from me, this bank. I will fuck with this bank. I'm still using it quite a lot. It's very fresh. So, okay, so look, as I was saying, I put a new MIDI clip. I mute everything else. Actually, yeah, just to be more clean, let me delete all the rest. We will just have now we have the full groove, kick and bass and drums and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
then we will just make the brainstorm here. So I bring the serum here. I would love to make it quick. I mean, to be fast and active, because sometimes you are not so motivated. You don't have so much the spark, the magic, and you need to work it a little bit. But yeah, let's see. I will come here and I will make the brainstorm here. We will make it here. I will send it to leads. I activate the MIDI pressing.
Maybe.
We are I don't remember. I think it's D sharp. Yeah, D sharp. Okay. Well, it's all arps. The first ones we will flow over those arps a little bit. I will see what inspires me the most, and then I will just make a mix of some leads, maybe some effects, some Atmos, etc. Wherever comes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is the normal preset. Many times I will remove the ARP and make some new pattern. Okay, that one, some of the shots I really like them. I was
Mm-hmm.
not so good at some parts, so we will fix that. That note is not correct. I select everything. I will put this a bit closer, and now I quantize 116. Yeah, let's see. Okay, I'm equalizing a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
just cleaning a bit more the low part and just giving a bit of compression, a bit of compact dynamics. Just this is the way I really like to compress. I usually compress like this, very fast attack, depending what elements, because if I go with pads or Atmos or depending what elements, I go more attack, longer release, etc. But usually this is the type of compression I use the most.
Because
So
this is a
now,
sharp, like fast sound, and not one that slowly comes up. You use the faster attack, so to say.
yeah, for example, yeah. Then also
Okay.
depending, there are cases where because of the image, the sound gets more revel and I have very rapid and crazy and out of control peaks. And that many
Mm-hmm.
times I solve it also with this kind of compression, fast compression. For me, the most critical case about that, I solve it like usually like attack 0.01 and then having a proper threshold here. And then there's other methods I use. Also, on top of that, I have some of the chains I'm working over the years and improved them. This simple
Mm-hmm.
chain, this one, it's doing a lot of magic. I use it many times. Maybe later, if we arrive to the stage, I will show you. But yeah. So far, like that. Mm, Look, I felt something very strange. Yeah, I know. This, because of the recording, I left it there by mistake. Let's close it properly. Now the loop is closing properly because when it started here, it made a strange jump and it was like out of the grid, you
Out
know?
of sync, to
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Let's take it again,
Yeah.
how it feels. I think it's quite interesting already. I will go fast. I want to make ideas and leave them there
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and make elements, you know? If we can make 10, 15, 20, that would be perfect. Okay, so far so good. I will bring one more serum. I'm still not so used with serum 2, for example. I need to spend more time. I spent time already, but
Mm-hmm.
I need more and want more hours. I want to investigate much more. But
There's
yeah,
so
for
much stuff
now,
in here. It's crazy
yeah,
the
and I
amount of
want
different
to,
things you can do.
yeah, exactly. And for me, it's very important to find the magic clicks, the magic
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
things or combinations or modules or these together with that. And I love to spend time investigating and finding those spots, those magic things, And I still need more time. But so far I already discovered some things. But by now I will go with these presets that I have here from me. But maybe some other day we can make some synthesis with Serum 2 and I will show you how I'm going with investigation and what things I'm
Sure.
able to
Sure.
do so
That
far,
sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Is
good.
it when you're working on your own workflow, when you're like in an actual production and you're doing these kind of brainstorms? I imagine that there's also, because you want to get sounds out, a lot of presets involved in the brainstorms normally, or do you sound design most of it from scratch right then and there?
It depends, for example, the brainstorm I was showing you before that I
Mm-hmm.
deleted, my brainstorm in this collaboration, all that was not from my presets. Why? Because lately I have been using so much my presets and only my presets, doing so much tracks that depending what period I get tired and I need some fresh thing. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, that brainstorm I deleted before was mostly presets from other people from other libraries, from other banks, not from me, on purpose
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted out of my box,
Yeah.
Also, I
New
tweak my
sounds.
yeah. Also, I end up tweaking many things, no? But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
source, I'm sure you have the same feeling sometimes. Like, okay, have been using so much my sounds that I need some fresh air out of my mind. And then that helps me to keep more fresh and more inspiring. And anyway, I end up mm, taking the presets to my sound, to my style, to my side, you know? Yeah.
I kind of, for my own presets, don't use them as much as I'm afraid that other people are going to notice. and it's like, okay, I want to do my own sound design when I'm actually like working on a production that is new and fresh, and that's something that somebody hasn't heard yet. And if I just use one of my presets, I'm a little bit scared that for the producer people out there that are listening to my music, they're gonna know, right, that it's one of my presets because they're gonna have it in their own collection as well. Um, so personally, I do a lot of the sound design of my projects, like specifically for the projects, and not really kept using presets. It is sometimes still nice though if you know what sound that you're going for, and you know that you have one of those presets that is like a squelch or simple particles or stuff that you just am gonna need every once in a while. That you have a preset that you can open up for that, and
Yeah,
maybe for
that's a
more of a
way.
background sound. Yeah,
That's a good way, yeah. Yeah, it happens also like that. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so let's keep. We have
Second
that
serum.
element. Now I will move next preset. This goes like that. It's a noise art. Not very complex synthesis, but very effective. Anyway, this one, it's not inspiring me right now. Let's see this. Yes, it could be. Look, I will go straight. I will make like similar like before. Maybe this time I will see how I flow recording on real time, but slower tempo. Then we will bring it back. Let's see. Sorry, I forgot to mute this one. Yes. That could be. I will copy this, undo, go back 145. I will paste, and I will close properly the loop just in case. Yeah, I think it's good already. Then I close the loop. I select everything. Quantize. Sorry, I made wrong note. There we go.
D sharp, no? Did you say the key was?
Yeah, but I'm just, I don't know if I fucked it up. What the, I don't know. Okay, my mistake. I thought I went to the wrong octave. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I like that. You know, look, listen this. Okay, this octave.
Mm-hmm.
But from this octave, if I start to go down and I start to catch the lower octave,
Mm-hmm.
which is under this one, that octave, I really like it. And there are some sounds I make it really on purpose that I give a lot of, I think maybe I told you the last video we recorded. I give a lot of importance to the octaves. And every preset that you manage to create, I take into account what potential it has about octaves. And I like to give usage for the
Mm-hmm.
presets to different octaves. For example, if I make a lot of presets for octave 2, number 2, for example, I will then manage to have also in number 1, presets for number 1, really sounding really top there also, you know? So I have a combination of octaves, and then because the different octaves in the end will make that you cover different parts of the spectrum.
Yes.
Imagine you make a track And all the leads and vocals stuff, you make it in octave 2, for example. You will cover a lot that range, for example, no? Or in
Mm-hmm.
3, more middle. Like you will cover, I mean, so if you make it only in this, in that octave, number 3, number 2, whatever, the leads, you will be like putting a lot in the same space. If you space the octaves, the talking that you make through the elements in different octaves, at least 2 or 3 minimum, that's another story, you know. You make it, you create another space, another image, another way of another room for the sounds, you know. I give a lot of importance also to that. Okay, so look, I will.
So would you now go, for example, through the octaves and listen to different versions of the same sound that you've already made, or do you know for a type of sound or a type of preset which octave is going to work best?
I have it more or less in my mind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Meanwhile, I keep creating. I have in my mind what I have been creating more or less. Sometimes,
Yeah.
if I'm not so fresh, I make a re-listening of all the elements I have so far in the brainstorm. But yeah, I have it in mind. I have it in mind, let's say, you know. I'm used to have it in mind, more or less. Mm, let me see one second. You see, for example, another little tip or vision from my production concepts. For example, this sound. Listen, I went one octave up, number 3 now. This kind of synthesis, this kind of lead, I would never use it in this octave. For me, it sounds
Yeah.
really mm, too not serious at all. Too much like a toy, like not serious at all. So also important for me to avoid certain octaves for certain, depending what synthesis you have about the sound. Because for me, not all the synthesis can sound top and good in all the octaves. You understand me?
Yeah, I would say this is like an FM synth type of vibe that I'm getting for
Kind
it, and
of,
I've
yeah.
noticed that
Between
for
if
that one,
I'm,
it's
yeah.
always like a lower octave that sounds better in my opinion. It sounds stronger, right?
Yeah, usually it's easy to identify in elements like FMs that they sound much better, that in higher octaves they get too toyish, they miss all the behavior of serious touch, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So yeah, we were here at number 2. I'm curious now. Yeah, also this preset, for example, I like a lot this. Look, we were here, listen. Cool. I love it. I like a lot how it expresses the sound itself, the synthesis. But also this synthesis, this preset, I really like it here, how it's roaring, much darker and quite compact, still very tight and very
Mm-hmm.
like raspy.
You can hear like the individual modulations this way
What, sorry?
from the. You can hear like the individual modulations this way from the FM because you can hear how
Yes,
long the modulator is. It actually stops
yes.
playing at audio rate.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. You can feel different aspects. Some aspects, let's say some aspects get easier to feel and to identify. Yes, yes, totally, totally.
Yeah.
So just trying to give some light for the people who can extract some benefits from this I'm explaining. Good. Let's keep. I will put one new MIDI.
One final quick question, just
Yeah,
going
sure,
into
sure.
Serum 2, with these octaves, how low are you tuning your actual oscillators for these patches?
Well, now you're killing me because I don't know it by memory, but this one it's mostly a mix of these two oscillators, and I'm -2 in both.
Yeah, okay.
I'm -2, and we are in octave 2. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, that's it. Okay, we have
Because
this.
usually I don't do anything in the octave and I go at the zero in Ableton. So that would be the same.
So you don't move too much the octaves in the synthesis, you mean? In the
No, no, no. Is there a reason why you do that and then go higher with the MIDI? Or is that
No,
just like,
honestly, for me, it's just a matter of workflow.
yeah,
Yeah, just that. For me, yeah.
Like I always thought that there was like a secret soundtrack that I didn't know about, but I couldn't actually hear differences if I were to tune the MIDI up in any of my patches and then tune the octaves down versus just keeping the MIDI at a lower octave itself.
Yeah.
So
No.
I didn't know what it was about, but it seems that everybody has a different workflow in that regard.
Yeah, I don't see, I just see a matter of workflow mostly about that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep this. Yeah, we used this one. I will keep. Let's just try it. Yeah, why not? This time I will not remove the ARP. I will make it with the ARP, but some shots, and let's see if I can be proper. Maybe yeah, we'll record slow again. Sometimes, depending what sounds and what moment I'm into, it helps me this method or this one, or, I need to know. It's important to know to trick yourself what is working to trick yourself to, your
So you're
method.
essentially doing this to hear the track in a different way while you're recording, so that you make different
So my
decisions on.
improvisation gets new angles, and
Yeah.
my hands and my recording, what I will press, will have new angles and new intuitive paths. That the normal way, the normal tempo would never or almost never arise
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that easy way. Yeah, it's important to know yourself. We all are different, have different workflow, different taste, etc. So it's very important I insist a lot about that. Important to know yourself, your good points, your weak points,
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna record. Let me see. Yeah, let's see. Wait, I forgot. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it could be. I will undo 145 again. I will paste what we recorded. Let me, yeah, quantize. This one I didn't like. I want it there, yeah. Okay, good. I have been a little bit of EQ in the low, a bit more precise, just a little bit of compression, and I was listening, trying, and I think there so far it's a good mix.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I rework it again, obviously, in some last stages, and along I make the arrangement, etc. But I like to leave it more or less close to what I feel it's good and proper according to the results I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So good. We have some kind of thing with those three. Let's keep going.
Would you now layer all three of these sounds on top of each other if you were to arrange this, say? Or are you going to look to
No,
chop
no, no,
individual
no.
parts out of it?
No, yeah. This we will make the brainstorm, blah blah, all the elements, but it doesn't mean at all that needs to be together at all. No, I'm just leaving the elements there. And once we have the brainstorm, imagine, for example, 10, 15, 20, 25 elements, then I jump to arrangement.
Yeah.
In my case, because of my experience, etc., when I'm doing the brainstorm, I keep having in mind the process, the element selection I have, the sound, the good ones, the top ones, the more normal ones, the whatever. And that when I end the brainstorm, I have already in my mind quite a good picture of what I'm gonna do about the arrangement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I have good vision about that. I mean about visualizing, picturing how it's gonna be in the near future, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. So let's skip this. Maybe this one. Yeah, I removed the art. I want to make a more precise recording. I will go just straight like that. Sorry, but entering sometimes happens. Like I like to enter properly, otherwise I don't like and I
Mm-hmm.
start again, you know? I'm not so happy with some part, but it's not a problem. I will select the or yeah, I will select everything. Maybe you are asking, maybe not, but if you are asking why I'm doing all the time when I record the clip, the MIDI clip, if you notice, before quantizing, I select all the notes and put I move to the left a bit. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's because the way I'm doing my workflow, the way I record, my hands, how I interact, my intuition, etc. I know already it works like this, good for me. What means that I tend to press and record a bit later than I would like. Then what
Yeah.
happens? If I look, this was like this. If I select everything and make the make the quantize like this, you
It's
see,
gonna
for
all be
example, the
one
first
one
note,
thing too late,
yeah, for
right?
example, the first note goes later, one grid later than what I want. So that's why I move it a little bit to the left, everything, and now I quantize, and now it's catching better according to my thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just clarifying because I know many people when they see me doing this, it's like, Miguel, why the fuck you doing all the time like that, you know?
I was more astonished by that. I get it maybe for when you're changing BPM that you copy the clip, remove it, then change the BPM, and then paste it again. But I even saw you with this recording here, removing the clip and then pasting it back in again. And I was more wondering what that was about, honestly.
Good. Very good eye you have. You know why is that? You know why is that? Well, in the it just like breathing. I do it. I have been doing it so much times that I do it without. It's unconscious already for me. But the reason why I do it is, yeah, in this case was not necessary according to the reason why I do it. But in the cases when I record slow tempo, slow motion, it's especially because of those cases that I developed this
Mm-hmm.
system. The reason is because imagine I record one clip, slow tempo, yeah, and then when it stops many times, it's like the ending of the clip is not correct. I mean, not exact or whatever. It's just a little detail, but this way helps me to go faster with the shortcut, and I end up being faster in the brainstorm. Just
So
a
you're then
workflow.
yeah. So you're then cutting out the exact 8 bars, I guess, from the clip that
Yeah,
you're recording.
8 or if it's 4/4, if it's 8/8, if it's 16/16, but yeah,
Yeah.
exact. Yeah, it's just
You're
a
you're cutting out the
workflow.
exact time. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
just a workflow detail. But
Yeah.
good that you noticed. That's good because then I can explain it. Yeah, little detail. Good. So this is now quantized. Let me see. I was not so happy with some part. Maybe this time I will need more retweaking. Could be, okay. It's not that bad as I thought, but maybe it could shine more, like giving a bit of repetition to this beginning all the time, these first 1, 2 bars, because they are
Mm-hmm.
different. And here the clip starts and there's a big space, and here there is not that big space, and also different rhythmic about the notes, a bit different thing. So maybe I would make that a bit more similar. 6.2, this would be, yeah, this, maybe like this. Let's see. There I felt good for this sound, the mix and everything, the dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So yeah, this I will keep it like that. Okay. Now I feel like I really want to change suddenly. We have those 3, 4 battle leads, more or less. Maybe now I would jump to some effects or some pad or add more. Let me see some pad. Okay, let me explain. For example, this pad, this preset,
Mm-hmm.
it's this pad, and it's, let's say it's, okay, 1 octave, 1 + 3. Okay, it's like the root note plus the root note in the sub, but 1 octave up. And this is giving the difference. This one is +3 about the semitone. So
Yeah.
this would make the summing of the third note on top of those two. Okay, that's what we have. Then in this kind of presets, we could do like that. I could record like this. Yeah, we could go like that. But many times I like to be a bit more complex. And since we have this kind of synthesis, imagine if you play 2 notes with this preset, if you play them properly, I mean, if you select the proper 2 notes, you can get very interesting results. I will make a recording and I will really flow. Some things will be no proper, some things will be proper, and then we will clean and select. Let's see. Okay, we have some good parts, some others were
Mm-hmm.
not good. So now from this, this was like 32, 32 bars. Maybe it would be interesting to reach one block of 16 bars from these 32 with the best ones. Okay, so I
Yeah.
will make a selection quickly. That one I liked, for example. That could be, actually this one is maybe the only one which is the same note, both of them, but I wanted in this case to have some voicing more complete. That's why I selected the same note, but 2 different octaves. Let's see the
Mm-hmm.
next one. Not so good. This one. Creepy, but not too much detuned and not too much a
Mm-hmm.
cluster of like too much the same notes together in the same range. No, this is a bit more spaced, still creepy. I like that connotation for this interval, but not it was a bit ugly in the beginning, you know. Now it's in a better position.
Are you also looking at the position of it in time, or are you just looking at just the like keys for now that you're playing, and then later you're gonna chop it up and place the atmospheres wherever they need to be?
Good one, good one. In this case, right now, I'm very focused about the keys and the intervals and the summing of notes, the voicings. Then
Yeah.
about the length and this kind of thing, yet not so much into it, you know? But will
Yeah.
be,
Okay.
but I will jump once we do this, I'll jump quickly to do that, and then we will have the 16 blocks. You know, we will select the good ones, which ones we consider are the best according to the results we look for, and that's it. Yeah, that could be it. Not sure. This, I don't like it. That needs to go out. Let's see this one. Okay, so I'm having a different idea now that I see it. I think we can leave that. It would need a bit more polish, but I want to go faster. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine we could leave this clip like that, 32 with those spaces. And then many of the times when I would imagine I'm done with the brainstorm, if I jump to the arrangement, many times what I do with this kind of element, not always, but most probably it's not gonna be like, imagine like, okay, there. No. Many of the times I go like this, you know? Imagine. Okay, imagine, forget about that. Like this was not there, but just to have the source. So maybe I would make like this. Imagine if the first kick and bass it's here at 33, maybe I would do like that. Not exactly like this, but so you get an idea.
Just having small clips of this,
Yeah.
say every 8 bars. It seems.
I mean, now I'm doing it very square, like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. But it would be even more like, who knows? Could be like this, a bit more like that. I mean, not so square. Maybe yes, but I mean, not a rule at all. Just trying to clarify, okay? So
But
yeah, this
okay,
would
then
be,
yeah, okay. I get what you mean. You make a whole collection of different keys in a long clip, and then you go and take individual clips and put them wherever they need to go.
yes,
Right?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Sometimes
Interesting.
yeah. Sometimes, look, imagine I recorded this and I was in a really good momentum and I really nailed it, you know? If that would be the
Mm-hmm.
case, most probably in those cases, I go straight like that, you know? Like, yeah, it goes there. But because it's very quite perfect, quite highlight the element, you know? But that
Mm-hmm.
is not happening always, so yeah, good. Let's keep. Let's make one more. Mm, maybe this time I will go with some effects. Let me see what could be useful for this moment, what I feel. Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, this one. This has some cool usage. We could try to flow something. Let's see what can appear with this one. I will need this. Okay, maybe, yeah, minimum, it's gonna be minimum, I think I will record 16 bars, one block. And if it feels like, maybe I go like that and then make a selection and make it shorter. But yeah, let's see. More or less, more or less, more or less. Mm, I think
Are
from
you
here, yes, tell
playing
me.
anything particular here? Because I hear the tonality of the notes changing even if you play the same or very similar key.
Yeah,
Is
this
are
is because
you
of the, yeah, yeah, yeah. You noticed good. That's
the
because
the,
of
the mod
the,
wheel or something?
no, actually, that it's coming by itself already with the synthesis I have done in this preset, but that is mostly because I have linked, I don't remember right now. I linked in this case, I'm not sure if it was the wavetable position linked to, no, okay, yeah, especially the velocity. Yeah, that's it. Look, the velocity,
Mm-hmm.
I have
Okay,
that
yeah. Oh,
chain.
okay, so that's changed to a rate, I
Yeah,
think, or something like
so
that.
it was not
Yeah,
like
LFO
the
6. Yes.
modulation, it was not the modulation wheel, but it was rather the amount of the velocity I was playing on purpose,
Yeah.
because I know this
Yeah.
preset is quite sensitive, this preset about the velocity, the way the synthesis reacts. So yeah.
Do you like presets that are very expressive when you change the velocity when you're playing like this? Is that a
Usually
benefit in this workflow?
Usually, yes. Not always, because maybe sometimes you don't want that behavior, but usually it's very helpful and useful according to the way I have of expressing when recording, intuition,
Mm-hmm.
my hands, how I press, how I like to interact. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you
So,
always record, right? How likely are you to open up a patch and just draw in MIDI with the drawing
yeah,
tools inside
sometimes I
Ableton?
draw, sometimes I draw. Next one we draw. Yeah. Because look, I think certain things you can only achieve them recording
Mm-hmm.
intuitively with your hand, whatever controller, no matter if it's fader, if it's knob, whatever, but physically with your hands. That's unique touch.
Yeah.
And what you can reach with your physical hands recording, you there are certain things that you will never achieve them in that way writing. And also the same vice versa. There are certain things that you will never achieve them by hand. And there's only mostly the way of doing it by writing.
Yeah.
Important to take into account what you want, what you need each moment.
For me personally, the way that I thought about it is that when you're writing stuff, you can either do like very straight lines and you get a very static, very simple kind of flow through it. Maybe like down for 8 bars for modulation and then up for 8 bars for modulation or something like that. Or something very complex like you use a random LFO. But if you want something in between where you want it to be like slightly random, but every once in a while you have a few modulations of a few different notes after each other that kind of follow a path and that follow one same single flow. That is really hard to do that in writing, and there you, or I find myself mainly
Sorry,
grabbing my MIDI
sorry,
when
it's hard
drawing.
to do where?
If you want to be in between like pure chaos and pure randomness
Yeah,
versus something very simple. You want
yeah,
every
yeah,
once in a while a little bit of a simple path maybe, and then you want something a little bit more crazy. You go with the
yeah,
fader a little bit like this, and then you get more variation that way, I guess.
yeah, sure. Now I get you. Yeah, I agree. It's a good thinking. I think it's a good thinking, and cool results, interesting results can come from that thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What was that? Yeah. This is, first of all, it's very loud. I went like almost minus 3 dBs. I will also give some compression properly to this one. Okay, look, for example, this, because we have been using, wait, that's not good. We come like that, long, some space, lower octave short. We suddenly change octave 5 and go really up, a bit
Mm-hmm.
longer, then little space, then lower octave from that one, then jump some space, and then jump to contrast with lower octave. Okay, then here we have this note. Okay, good. But then this one, I think it's not so interesting after that one. So there could be many different options, but for example, only moving the octave, let's see. Yeah, then to give more diversity, also these longer notes are inspiring me to apply some automation. Let's see what can come from the macros I have here. Yeah, something like that could be. Not like that. No, I don't like it. Yeah, that I like it more. Maybe I sustain the high pitch here in this area. Yeah, okay, more interesting. You see, then we have that note, but that is not sounding like repetitive or whatever anymore. Now we have
Yeah.
very more contrasted. We keep the contrast, we keep the high interest, you know? That's good. Let's see the others. Yeah, that one I will make this automation with the morph. No, sorry, not here. Here. Yeah, good. Now that keeps a good interest. I like it. Okay, so maybe now that I listen, now that I see, I would make like the previous one. I had the idea to make it shorter with the best ones, but I think the spaces and the shots, yeah, some of them I will not use it in the end, but most of them in the end, I think they have their interest. So I would maybe leave it like that. And then in the arrangement, most probably I would use it the way I told you. But we would see. But most probably, yeah, I would use it like the way I told you before, I explained you before. Good
Yeah,
one.
with the cutting up and then
Yeah,
dropping it
yeah,
throughout which key
yeah,
you need and
exactly.
that kind of stuff. Yes.
Exactly. Okay, so let's keep. We are here. Let me, maybe this time now I will jump back to arts. Let's see what we have here. I want to take something which really inspires me. Ah, yeah, now I just remembered. We will write it this time, okay? Let's write it. Mm, wait, I forgot those to send to the leads group. Okay, let's see this. From melodic. Okay, this is the last one we used before. I love this one. I really like it.
It sounds really nice. I agree.
Yeah, and with this one, I don't know. It really inspires me. You know, it's quite for me. This one, this kind of synthesis, this kind of sound. With the ARP, I really like it. I have been using it, but also I like it a lot without the ARP. I like a lot this one. You see this one in the lower octave, it's not so super as the previous one I told you, you know? So for this one,
Mm-hmm.
I would use this octave, this one. And let's write it. Something like 2 bars, 4 bars, maximum, maximum, maximum. By now, I will take 2 bars. Yeah, let's see. This note. Yeah, let's notice this one. Okay, so look, maybe for example, I will start like this. We are, okay, yeah, like that. I will put like 1/16, and I will take it from here. And from here, I will create an interesting, the most possible right now. Let's see how I feel. But I will create, we have, no, sorry, I was wrong. We are 1 bar, not 2. Okay, so I will make 1 bar, then I will convert it to 2 bars and create some variation. And most probably from that clip of 2 bars, we will make one last one and 4 bars and with some more variations. Let's see. It's a bit too loud. Okay, we have 1 bar, then yeah, now we have 2 bars. I will close this loop. Then I will make some variation. Good, we have these two. Now, okay, I will make the last difference. And we have 4 bars loop. Yeah, it will be a 4 bars loop now. I will make the last variation. Could be, that last step, it's like breaking a little bit the pattern, rhythmic pattern that we have in the previous little parts. So I make that difference, and now we have these 4 bars.
I was gonna comment that the variations that you made from going from 1 bar to 2 bar were almost subliminal in the sense that you really didn't hear any big differences, but now with the new variation that you made for this 4 bar thing, there's like a big difference in the rhythm suddenly towards the end there. And I
Yeah,
think that's a
slowly,
cool
slowly,
takeaway from it.
slowly bit more, slowly bit more, and in the end we have something. But,
Yeah.
but now that you mention, being honest, I felt like I'm not reaching the best of this. And I think it's because of the synthesis. I mean, according to this kind of rhythmic and work and pattern and this kind of work here in the MIDI, in the notes, in the shots, in the rhythmic, I feel this synthesis, it's not it's not benefiting the most. So this happens sometimes, and what I do is just I select another thing, you know. Actually, I will try. Let me see. No? I'm not sure. Maybe like this, I made more chopped pattern now, and maybe I go back to that preset, initial preset we were using. I'm not really sure. I will go back. Yeah, maybe a bit like this, but then the longer ones, I don't want to lose them, so I will keep the pronunciation of the long ones. Of this, yeah, longest ones, this one, this one. This one also up to here. Let's see. Yeah, I think now it's more, it's easier to identify the beginning and ending of the shot. So the pattern, the talking, the message gets more clear, and it's more immersive. It's getting more
Yes. Yeah.
immersive somehow. Okay, that's
I
good.
get
That's
what
a
you
good
mean. Yes.
result.
Yes.
That's good. Let's keep one more. There's one. We jumped now to this one to try. We went back to number 8 after doing that thing in the pattern in the clip. But there's this one. I really like it. One of my favorites. Mm, it's this. Well, it's an ARP. It goes like that. This one I love it. I really like it. And also the synthesis, easily I can morph it many times. I use it and I morph it a bit here, a bit there, and it's not getting the same sound. Still into the family, but making some differences, and I can play a lot and use it a lot, you know? Good. So with this one, I don't know what I'm feeling to do. I'm not sure. Maybe I will. I'm not sure. Yeah, I will slow. I will record. Maybe this. Sorry. No, actually, I'm not so happy. I will record again. No, okay, wait. It's not inspiring me, and I think I will remove the ARP. I think that's gonna help me. Yeah. Yeah, with all the rage I could. Let's see, how can we? I think this one is gonna feel better, much better than the previous one. Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Yeah, I wanted those. I was not so happy at all with that part.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
Mm-hmm.
this, and I think it was not making justice to all the clip altogether. So I make that repetition, that same flavor like in the beginning of the clip, and I think that's now feeling better according to my sensation. So we would have this clip, which it's 8 bars. Okay, that's good. Let's make something else.
Can I quickly ask a question here? Because I've been hearing a delay and reverb. Are those coming from the presets, or is that leads group doing
No,
that?
no,
Are
no.
you
Look in
the group that you're sending it to?
no, no, no. Look in the leads group, I have only this. It's
Okay.
cleaning from 122 below,
Mm-hmm.
and I have this compressor ready. You know, my tracks comes like this in this group in the leads, but this until I'm not middle way, more or less in the arrangement, I don't start to use it. And when I'm more or less middle, when I'm quite advanced in the track, then I start to use it and I put the ceiling for the leads and I create a more stable and compact thing, you know? But I don't like to,
So it's like a gluing one, a compressor that is always a little bit active, you would
yeah,
say. Yeah.
yeah, because
Okay.
if imagine I want to do it now, it makes no
Mm-hmm.
sense. Makes no sense
Yeah.
because I mean, I don't know where it's gonna sound a lot of elements together or not. So that's why I do it when I'm quite advanced, middle or more advanced in the arrangement, you know? And then in the parts where I go more crowded, there especially makes the work, this kind of thing. Otherwise, I
That
get
makes sense.
too
Yes.
rebel. Yeah, it's quite basic thing, but in my case, I really like to make it with the native compressor and I don't complicate too much. And with this, I create the ceiling, I create this more compact thing altogether, you know?
Yeah.
Not so rebel the peaks because they easily get rebel in the crowded parts. If you go with nasty leads and very kind of synthesis, kind of sounds like that, it's more, it's easier that you end up having this kind of trouble, you know? Yeah, that's it. So about the delays, look, in this case, what you listen, it's everything coming from, for example, I see you, I see you were asking, so maybe you were wondering about this preset. This one has like this.
Yeah. So
It
your
has,
preset, you keep delays from individual presets, then.
I keep presets. How you mean? Sorry.
In the sense that a lot of producers they work with return tracks for the delays and reverbs,
Okay, okay, okay.
right?
You mean here?
Yeah, right.
That I love to use it, and I use it a lot also. Right now, I didn't use it for whatever reason, but I use that a lot. I use sense
Okay,
on, yeah, yeah. I like a lot to use them.
it's
Also,
interesting
it's
because myself, I'm a person that never uses the sense for the
no, no,
delay. I
really.
always put the delay on the track that I'm working on it because like 9 times out of 10 times I'm gonna find myself automating something about the delay, like different feedback for different sections or different dry wet for different sections. It really becomes part of the flow of the element as a whole for me, right?
Uh-huh.
Just like the amount of delay increases as the element plays more and more, so that it becomes more atmospheric and it sits more in the background, and a new element can come in. So I'm always doing that kind of stuff, and I've personally found that having therefore a delay for every patch that I have in the track makes it much easier to do that kind of thing.
Uh-huh. I understand. I understand. Actually, I kind of agree. I was like doing like this kind of thinking a lot my first years. Actually, yeah, that made a good basis, good fundamentals for me. Yeah, it's important kind of vision to have it clear, you know, and to take it into account for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Also, mm, we need to point, it's very important that it's very different result when you place the effects in the channel, or when you use sands, no? Because the kind of wetting, the kind of summing of the effects together, I mean, the dry and the wet, the summing of the dry and the wet, it's very different that if you go and put directly in the channel delay, for example, than using a delay here, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Look, imagine this delay. This one, the C send, it's this delay, which I'm using so much actually, okay? This
And
one.
1/8 ping pong, yes.
Yeah. And look, goes like this. This one I use it a lot. Imagine if we could go like that, but then I would select maybe imagine that and not those because there are some parts where it gets too crowded and because of the high feedback we have from the send of the delay, it would become too blurred, too dirty, too much at the same time. So I would select some part a bit more spaced with a cool rhythmic mm, there so I can pronounce that, you know? And in this case, maybe I would do just quick example, but like this. See, and we got that ascent, and it's this kind of feeling, you know, and it's different than if I would go now and place a delay in the chain, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
the wetting, the summing of the dry and wet, and it would get different feeling, you know. Okay, I will go back. That's it. Yeah, I'm not clear where I was. Yeah. We were here. Let's make a melody. We didn't make a melody. I like a lot to make melodies, despite sometimes I avoid in some tracks to make melodies because I don't, some tracks I like to go without melody just on purpose because usually I tend to use a lot of mm, melody in my workflow. And sometimes I'm just afraid of overusing it. So from time to time, there's some track that I avoid mm, harmonics, let's say, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Good. Maybe, I'm not sure. Let me listen. I love this synthesis for melody. I will take this one. I will, yeah, maybe, yeah, I will make this 0. Oh, fuck my mouse. It's going crazy. Okay, 24/16. Yeah, we have both flat now. These two control the tone. It's like, look, listen, I don't remember in this preset, but I mean, there's one, like, I think it's 2 bars. Yeah, I think it's 2 bars, and you can play with variation. Okay, let's see. So we take it from here. You know what? I will remove the arp.
Can also,
And
yeah, write it in into MIDI if you want to,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
record
I
the
think
melody
it's gonna
yourself.
be, yeah, I think it's gonna be more cool for the people to see it in here. So I will take 1 bar and we will see where it takes us. Okay, 1 bar. I will stretch it, make it longer. I will play. I will leave kick and bass loop from here to here. I will make it keeping going, closed, and I will try to go deep and create something. Let's see. I like a lot to unleash myself and see what I feel and what my intuition is gonna lead me, you
Mhm.
know? Let's see. Okay, I have so far these three notes, and then
Mhm.
this one I duplicated, I go one octave down. So this one is gonna be the same tone, but playing with the two octaves. And then from here, let's see. Okay, I'm listening the notes that are coming in this next two part. I'm listening already two or three of them. I will try to write them. Now I'm listening the last part. Let's see if I can retain it. Okay, that's what I was feeling. Okay. I got the last part, two or three notes. I was listening them already, but I lost them. I will keep going and let's see where it leads us. I'm missing the touch. Let me see. That starts to become something interesting. I think I will just make it a bit shorter. Yeah, maybe I would leave it like this, more or less about the length, but imagine I like a lot to play with the length and give it different expression in different moments. So yeah, we would have different ways we could make it in serum, but also I like it. I feel it easy. many times to bring an LFO, and maybe I could map, maybe I would open. Yeah, we have the release now here. I would map this release. Maybe I would select glider and our parameters, something like that, more or less. I'm not so sure about the glider. Maybe the stray for this would be better. I'm not 100% happy with this. Maybe I'll go back to glider, but different rate than before. Yeah, more like this, more like this. So we would have this. Okay, that's good. That could be the element about the melodic thing. I would work a little bit more the synthesis. I listen some stuff. I think we could have a better voicing, which would make the sound pop up more. I was gonna say more aggressively, but it's not necessarily aggressive. But I mean more powerful. Yeah, powerful. That's the word. Okay, these. I think we can make one more. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven,
I
eight.
quickly wanted to ask, just for a second here, in regards to ARPs like this, how much is it based on stuff you maybe like know from music theory, and how much is it based on just putting in slightly random notes and just hearing what you're doing? Would you
Good
say?
question. You
Thank
you
you.
asking about my case, no? In my case, good question.
Yes.
In my
Yes.
case,
Yeah.
honestly, it's a mix. I learned some years of piano,
Mm-hmm.
and that together with my experience in music production along all the years, I'm like 25 years producing. So all those thousands, tons of hours on my back, together with the piano theory that I was
Mm-hmm.
learning for 2, 3, 4 years. With that mix, I can manage quite interestingly about the harmonics. And actually, I love melodies and harmonics work, and I enjoy a lot doing. Yeah, 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 yeah. So good, we have this element. Let's make one more, last one, and
Last
we will
one.
have 10.
Yes.
Look, I will bring quickly Serum 2. Maybe this time we can make something like an add more. I think there's room, there's space. We have a lot of leads stuff, and we don't have so much landscapes, let's say, this kind of
Mm-hmm.
element. So maybe I will go to add more. Let's see. Yeah, I will take this. I will go straight. Let's see where it comes. Yeah, that could be. That could be. Let me, because I kept because I was feeling a good mood, but it was so loud, it was breaking a little bit the
Mm-hmm.
magic. Let
Mm-hmm.
me see. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this one. I made it fast without any big expectation, but in the end, yeah, it's good.
That sounds good, yeah.
Okay, this one, I would make it like this length, and yeah, most probably, depending, maybe this one has, you see, this one not the best, but this one has more options to be going like that. I mean, like one piece, because I think
Yeah.
it's more solid altogether. The other
Mm-hmm.
cases, for example, those were not so good for that. I mean, this is like would be more proper, this one, for this kind of use. I mean, more altogether.
More cohesive in a way, you
Yeah,
would say.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
the sound sound more like uh, just a continuation of the same sound
Yeah, exactly.
over again, as opposed to
Exactly. So,
something too crazy.
exactly. So for this one, I feel it more like that. Those, I feel them more like, okay, the those I feel more like I say before. Like, yeah, this one here, maybe that part I would put it here. Maybe this one I like it for this slot here, and those I know I like them for here, and then who knows, huh? I'm just really flowing, but for example, you get the idea, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So this would be, I think, the number 10. Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
we have now, it happens always the same for me. I would love, in the time we spent, I would love to have 15 or 20, but it didn't happen. If I'm alone and not explaining, and then I go faster, and then it's more, mm, it's more probably that I'm gonna make it in this amount of time, double of the sounds that we have done. But so far so good. So far so good.
Do you also have the effect that if you know that you're recording something for YouTube for content, that you say like, oh, now I have to really make something good, and now I have to really make something cool, and
Yeah,
that puts
that
the extra pressure on you to.
yeah. Yeah. Great question. Yes, that happened me a lot. That happened to me a lot in the past.
Mm,
I have been through that already, and honestly, nowadays it makes me horny, inspires me. If I know some other minds are interested in what I'm doing, I get warmer even. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
nowadays I feel it like that. I live it like that. But I was many of the first years. Yeah, yeah. I was a lot of years like feeling when I was recording with somebody or similar situation, I was suffering a bit. Yeah, but I passed through. I passed through that season. Yeah.
Nice. So that's going to be the session for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did by leaving a like, and make sure that you're subscribed. Of course, make sure to check out the sale if you haven't done that already, because it ends on May 4th. So thank you so much for checking that out, because it does support the channel. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.